Hey guys, I'm going to step out here and try not to embarrass myself because there's other people out here. I did not get to do a video last night. I had some sick kids and I was not doing well, but I wanted to talk to you today about my little son Mason and why he has a story about Mason that makes him my hero. Literally, he saved my life. When he was 6 years old, my youngest was 2 and, spaced out. They're all a year apart. And I had a violent allergic reaction to something I ate. I didn't know I was allergic to dates. And we had these energy bars that were made mostly of dates. And I ended up having almost like stroke. They thought I was having a stroke. But I was at home alone. I was shaking. It was like seizure activity, or they don't know if it was seizure activity or if it was a possible mild stroke. But I had 4 little kids at home. The youngest was 2, the oldest was 6, and I was in trouble. I couldn't get to my phone. I couldn't move. I was very violently ill, and the only thing that I could do was call for my son, Mason, who was 6 years old. And I couldn't get words out, like I was stuttery talking, but he went, and here's what he did. Here's what my amazing 6-year-old did. He's my hero, and I'm gonna try not to cry because when I think of this, it blows my mind. He took my 2-year-old, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and he put her in her crib, turned on her music, and had her go to, worked on her going to sleep. He put my other son, Hunter, who was freaking out, into the bedroom and gave him a book to read so that he could start to calm down. And then my other son was 4, is that right? 4, and he was really freaking out. And so Mason told him that he was taking care of mommy and that he had it all under control. So he took the 4-year-old in with the other son so that they could read to each other and calm down. And my son then went and got my phone and called my mom. He called and said 911 to mom, and immediately, they're 30 minutes away. My mom and dad jumped in their car and drove like bats out of hell and got to my house and took care of me. But my son saved my life by getting me help and taking care of my kids. And he has worried about me ever since, and it's created a lot of anxiety in his life, but he's also taken it upon himself to be the family's protector. So he's 11 now, and he has stepped up on more than one occasion when I've been really, really ill and done exactly what was needed. And he's had to grow up quite a bit because of that, because having lupus, I've been in some fairly dangerous situations with my health, and he is, with my husband on 3rd shift, like I had to have a drill with him the other day. I've been having this ongoing headache right here, and like the side of my face was going numb, and I really was afraid that I was having another stroke, and or stroke activity, or whatever they want to call it. It wasn't serious, and I had to talk to my son, and Mason was like, "What do I need to do, mommy?" And I said, "Well, what's the drill?" And he says, "If you're sick, if you don't respond, or if you tell me to do it, I take your finger and I put it on your phone and I call 911. Then I put the dogs in the bathroom and I go to a neighbor's house and I take all of the kids with me, and I have Hunter wait for the ambulance." So I mean, my son at 11 years old, and he's had to deal with this since he was 6. I mean, I hate that he has that responsibility, but with a chronically ill mother and the stuff that I go through, it's a necessity because we're home alone quite a bit. And I watch my son. I'm gonna walk over here because I'm totally gonna cry. He steps up every time, no matter what's going on or what he's doing. He has stepped up, and he has been my hero on more than one occasion and saved my life on one occasion. And at such a young age, to have high functioning autism and an anxiety disorder and sensory processing disorder, to be that kind of a kid that will step up and do what's needed when it's needed. Not that that's necessarily rare, but for me, I see it firsthand in him, and I admire him so much, and I tell him constantly how much I appreciate him and how much he influences me for the better, and his attitude and his spirit. He is very spiritual, and he tries really hard to study the scriptures with the family and be a good influence. And so today my influential person is my son, my Mason.